1, go!
All teams start with a preloaded game piece, and many of them will take that immediately over to the Coral Station to score points for their alliance. They do need to land one of those in the scoring area since all of them have moved off that black taped line. They're looking to get that autonomous ranking point. Blue Alliance appear to be successful, but Red Alliance might be short that game piece needed. The remaining 2 minutes, 15 seconds is all teleoperated. Human players pick up the controllers and drive the robot that their team built over the last 10 weeks. 64-98 Castle Robotics going to place a game piece on the top part of the Coral Reef Station. Just shy, but there's still plenty of coral available in the Coral Reef Stations. They'll pick up those game pieces and score them onto the reef for additional scoring opportunities. 35-59, the Thundercats. They're from just down the way and down the road. Jasper, Indiana. They do need to maneuver around the field of play and potentially go for some bumper-on-bumper action on the far side of the field. That contact is loud as long as it's kept to a minimum and done successfully. 64-98 Castle Robotics potentially scoring one of our first algae in today's competition. Electing to score it directly in the barge. It's worth 4 points for their alliance, but it does bypass the processor, which could take away points depending on how it's scored. If a game piece were to exit the field of play, it would be returned to where it came out. This is true regardless if it's coral or algae, but the algae, being those teal spheres that are inflated, are more likely to bounce out of the way. That noise you hear is Team 9554. Their intake mechanism seems to be taken quite aware during in today's event. They'll continue to monitor that with only a minute remaining in the match. Scores currently 50-49 in favor of Red Alliance. That's only 1 point difference. That's hard to build in this season's competition. But that means they can score just about anywhere to bring up that difference, which teams are continuing to do hand for hand. Team 51-88 trying to score additional game pieces on their Coral Station. Just shy of that placement on the L4 level, which would have been worth 5 points. They're going for additional try now. We'll have to see how they do as they continue in the match. Team 10-18, the Pike Robo Devils, continuing to work with their teammates to pick up additional game pieces from their human player station. With only 27 seconds remaining in the match, teams can continue to score, but a lot of them will look to go climb as we hear that sonar ping. Meaning teams make their way over to those cages and need to get elevated off the ground. The longer the chain, the more points they'll gain. Team 35-39, the Thundercats, need to get captured onto that cage and get elevated. Team 10-18, Pike Robo Devils already doing so. Castle Robotics potentially hoping to join them. But that's about all the time we have for qualification match 7 here at the Finn District Washington event, sponsored by Toyota Indiana and Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation. Stick tight for those scores to see how they total up. Exciting factor there appears to be their hard work in the Coral. 10 points larger than that of the Red Alliance. They're going to take home 4 of those ranking points, 3 for winning and 1 for their work in autonomous. That increases the ranking average of the Portage Pythons and Classified Robotics, but actually decreases the ranking of the Thundercats, which is why they're moving into that 7th ranked position. Stick tight for qualification match 8.